Hello and welcome to Never a Foul. What a Saturday. Man City lose their first game of the season. Against who? Against Wolves. And Simon Hooper robs Liverpool of a legit goal, 2 red cards, and Spurs get away with one. But again, they win. Are they in a title race? And Arsenal cruise. But the most important one is that Man United, back to earth. You're not good. You're in the mud. You lose at home to Crystal Palace. And they said we're back. Ty and Kas said we're back. They're not back. But I'm here with Daps, of course, Tom, Saad. If you haven't met Saad, welcome, Saad, to the stream. On Arsenal fan, as you can see, proud and smiling. And Deji, who's coming with smoke. Everybody happy?
And
no.
Yeah. Now, let me be clear to everyone in the chat, yeah? Kas will be here, people. Kas will be here. He's on the way back from the game. He's approximately 25 minutes away. He will be here. You can keep asking for him. We don't mind you spamming the chat, but it'll be here in 25. Ty, because you know what? I must say this. Kas is the one that everyone calls out for all the time, yeah? Right? But Ty also isn't on Rivals Not Virals tomorrow. But Ty has actually been the one that has been, we are back. Even this morning we were having the conversation. But I will also say, today, on Tuesday, when we lost to Newcastle, I came on and said, does no one want to go at me? And no one did. I said, okay. But if we don't get points in the weekend, I'll be here again. And I get United drop points today. But for me, I think the City one's fucking important. We do need to talk on it because we're going into an Arsenal game next weekend. And we've, the talk has been, Arsenal aren't even going to be in the title race. And today we blew it open and said, you know what? Who wants to get involved in this title race? So
Simon Hooper wants to get involved. That's who wants to get involved.
Oh, he definitely wants to get involved as well.
But let's start with that. I have to start with Spurs and Liverpool.
Yeah. Is that what the chat want? What did the chat want?
The chat, of course.
The chat want Kas, but he's not here yet. So
he is going to be here in 20 minutes. Spam the chat. Where is Kas? But hit that like. Come on, guys. There's over 500 of you here. We're still not even 2 minutes in. Hit that like button. The like button is how we get to new audience. The like button look like this underneath your live chat. Come on. Close the live chat. Hit the like button and come back. Deji, did you deserve to win this game?
First and foremost, I like to say, because last night we had welcome on the chat or on the channel. So I just want to give a quick response to him. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Let's be real. I'm going to be humble here. The Diaz goal was a goal. And, I talked about football and drama and the conspiracy theories. We could all see that Romero's leg was closer to the line than Diaz. How that was ruled off for offside, I will never know. We've now seen that there's an apology from the refereeing department. And let's be real, I'm going to be real. Liverpool showed levels. With 10 men, they still looked like they could have won the game. With 9 men, we still couldn't break them down. And it took a little last-minute own goal for us to even snatch the win. So I'm not going to come here tonight and start shaking my bum for my club. What I will do, though, is say that I will take the 3 points. I'm going to take the 3 points because when you look at it and you look at all the previous results, it was about time Tottenham won. But in the way that we won, it probably wasn't. I'm not going to lie. We did all right. We gave Liverpool a game, but with Curtis Jones going on the 26th minute, we'll never really know whether Tottenham could go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. At the time, it seemed fairly even. He's gone. The game is a disaster. Liverpool still scored 2 goals with 10 men. Yeah. I think that's painful. I think once you lose a player down, they shouldn't even be scoring a goal, let alone 2 goals. But Liverpool legitimately scored 2 goals. But at the end of the day, history will remember the fact that Spurs have got 3 points and we're sitting second in the league. And I asked the question yesterday, if Tottenham somehow and I did use the term somehow, get through the game, what are we saying? Look, we're having
we're saying in second in the league, and we're saying that it's 7 games or 8 games in, the same as you were saying to Arsenal this time last year.
Yeah,
and maybe that your squad's maybe not as deep as Arsenal's.
Can I just say something? I'm not gonna lie. Tottenham for me have never really had the rub of the green. That result today, we've had the rub of the green a couple of times this season, and I just feel like maybe Lady Luck is a little bit on our side.
Results, bro. Shows you can get big results. 2 weeks in a row, you've shown that you can go and get big results.
Yeah.
So and you have to take it like that. You do.
Tom is laughing. He's like, come on, Deji.
We got the win, but it weren't great. I'm not gonna lie.
Before Tom goes on his rant, can I just give some props to Liverpool here, yeah? And let this be a reminder to every single club, right? That this Liverpool team, yeah, what you need to avoid. You need to avoid it turning into Liverpool have to fight, right? In any, you always see, we've seen it last season when I think
Liverpool against the world sort of thing. Everyone against us.
Whenever it's something that winds up the Liverpool fans, yeah, that's it. All of a sudden, and we saw it again today. Like, they're down to 9 men and they're still playing like that. It's like Liverpool, whether it be Klopp, whether it be the players, whether it be the fans, when they feel they have a fight on their hands, that is when you see the best Liverpool. That is when Liverpool step up. I'm not gonna lie, like it's such an interesting game because, like Deji said, we don't know whether it would have been toe-to-toe if 11 men were on the pitch, but that almost makes the story even better that Liverpool went down to 10 men and still played like that. And yeah, but listen, I know what you want to talk on, and over to you, Tom, because you need to talk on it as well. So,
look, I'm one of the people who come in and tell you if we got battered and if we got outplayed, and I don't feel we did. I felt like Tottenham had moments, but I thought we had the better chances up until the point where we went down to 9 men and we just got peppered because you had no forward as an out ball. The first red card, look, that's the one I'm most willing to hear out on. I still don't think it's a red card because he's won the ball. Natural momentum is going to carry you forwards. Is he supposed to Danny Phantom his leg and turn it translucent and go through someone else's? There's nothing else he can do. And I didn't like the fact that when the ref was going over to the monitor, all he showed for the first 10 seconds was the angle where it's like that. Yeah. Like, that's not going to affect his decision. No. The red card, not the red card, the offside. Offside is the black and white rule. VAR is brought in to deal with like 4 or 5 instances, and it has one black and white rule it can deal with, which is offside. You're either offside or you're not. And they have managed to constantly cock up a black and white rule. And today was no different. I think, again, I can't remember. I think it was Jamie Carragher. I read like his tweet. I read it on. Apparently, their reasoning was they drew the line from Pedro Porro and not Romero because they didn't see Romero because of the angle. You know, when they zoom in to draw the lines properly, they just forgot Romero was playing on the bottom of the screen.
Has that come out recently? Because the initial... It was mad how it unfolded, right? Because Klopp was actually interviewed initially before he even, the announcement had been read out, but Klopp had not been shown the announcement. He got interviewed and he was basically like, I don't want to talk on it because, it is what it is. I'm not going to talk on it. Really, really stayed calm.
Oh, no, we won't talk on it.
But then he went from there to the press conference. And I think while he was walking to the press conference, someone said, here's the statement. Then he got in there and was like, oh, well, we're going to talk on it. The way that, unless it's changed now, the way that it kind of, I interpreted it was that they've ultimately come out and said, with offsides, it's like, it's a tool, right? It's automated. Yeah. You're either, and that it failed to kick in. That's
not it is. No,
that's the way it was described. It failed to kick in.
No, you see Daps, they got offered that tool. So that's the tool they used during the World Cup. Remember when it was Bosch during the World Cup? They got offered that tool this summer. And Howard Webb told them to do one. He didn't want it. He wanted to keep doing it how we were doing it because that's worked so well at the minute. So, at the end of the season, you know what the Etihad, when you're lifting up the Premier League trophy, we're still going to have our little, podium. So we're going to lift up, that apology letter that you get where it says,
that's mad as well.
We're going to go, yay!
And that's the thing that Klopp said. What's the point? You've apologised. Well done. What does that mean, right? What does that mean now?
Apology that it's supposed to mean, we won't make that same mistake again. Fuck me, you make the same mistake 3 weeks later. It's ultimately irrelevant. The second red card, the Jota one, the one he got the red card for, the second yellow, brain dead moments. Brain dead.
Yeah.
The first one, where Udogie has tripped over his own leg and Jota's got himself booked. I sit there and I'm mind blown. Tottenham had some nice moments today. I thought we had some really good moments today. I thought we had the better chances. I thought once we went down to 10 men, we were unlucky. But I'm really proud of what we've done today. Going away with everything that went against us. I mean, even if I don't want to go through the record, Salah got booked for winning the ball against Basuma. Like there's so many moments where it was just maniacal, stupid shit that went against us. And it took a 96th minute own goal from Joel Matip for us to lose. I'm proud of them boys today, and it's given me more confidence than a lot of the wins have. You should be, because to go away at that ground with everything that went against us and still probably should have left with at least a point, if not 3. To do all that gives me so much confidence. But the idea that the PGMOL can just continue to make cock-ups and mistakes like this and just get away with it, and it's brushed under
Tom, they've been doing it. Weeks. Tom, honestly, they've been doing it for years. You look at last year, they literally. Do you not remember the Brentford game? The lines weren't drawn. That referee that done that was fired and then rehired to train the referees to use.
That's not the worst one. That's not the worst one. Simon Hooper, the one who done it today, Simon Hooper. You'll never guess who the referee was for the second most contentious decision this season when Amadou Onana flew into Sasha Kalajic and didn't give away a penalty. You'll never guess who was in charge of making that decision. It was only Simon Hooper. So the man who got removed from his duty after match week 1 has now got his job back and is refereeing the biggest game of the weekend.
But Tom, there's so much. Sorry, one sec. There's so much negligence from them as well. Like even the little things to. There's a couple of grounds where there's been decisions. I don't even know which grounds there are where ultimately they don't have cameras in the right position. Right. Why has no one gone round and checked the cameras? Why has no one gone round and just gone, oh, by the way, like, if you're bringing in a rule, you should be policing it. You should be making just
last season. The first goal at the end last season. Saka was in a potentially offside position, but the cameras couldn't the camera that they had that captured Saka didn't have Ben White in shot. So that's not Arsenal's fault. That's not Arsenal's fault.
That's their fault for not checking that the cameras are in the right places because it's your tool. You should be providing the cameras and doing all of that.
The big thing I'm doing here is not blaming Tottenham.
Yeah,
I'm not having a go at Tottenham, Postecoglou, any of the play. I've got no.
Respect.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's the idiots that run the supposed best league in the world, who week in, week out make mistakes. Do you want to know how stupid it is? Half of the weekends that we have in the Premier League, it's not, did you see that goal? Did you see that finish? Did you see that result? No, it's, did you see that fuck up? Did you see that cock up? Did you see that penalty? Did you see that offside call? It's more so, how did the refs mess it up this week than, that team played well? It's a joke. And again, the most damning stat from it, Liverpool Football Club in the last 5 years, had 4 red cards. You've got 4 red cards in 7 games.
Yeah, that's mad.
And about one of them was deserved. One of them, one which I can't argue with.
Nuts.
Mental.
I mean, look, I hear you, and I totally agree with everything you're saying. But I sit here as a Spurs fan who is seeing decision after decision after decision in previous seasons go against Spurs. When you were talking, one that came to mind was the handball when Tottenham played Newcastle at home. Eric Dyer's supposed handball. How about the Champions League final? There's the Sissoko handball, which changed the whole game.
You would have been Champions League winners now, innit?
Mate, it would have been a different game for sure. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real. And So, and I've seen Spurs have decisions. And for me, the only thing I can say about today was it was about time a decision went our way. That's all I can say. I'm
Well,
not
I
saying
actually disagree with you,
yeah, but
Deji.
it
I
was
think
about
actually,
time. No, because on the level,
Deji, to be honest with you, apart from the goal, no one can do anything about the goal when they draw the lines. The one that you guys are talking about, the red card, the second red card, the first red card is a red card, Tom. The reason why they have been given these red cards. If you go over the ball, hear me out. I know he's unlucky and he can't do anything about it, but the consistency says that he has to go.
Yeah.
This is it.
But Mo, you've said it yourself, the consistency. So do we just want them to keep making consistently incorrect
Yeah, but the
decisions?
law is the law.
Because
if you go above the ball, Tom, if you go above the ball and you catch the player's ankle, it's a record.
So are we just not supposed to tackle now? Because there is threat. Because there is the threat that you could win the ball.
Yeah, you don't go over the ball.
Off the ball and hit him in the leg.
But in that case, the rule needs changing. But in that case, the rule needs changing.
You don't go over. Simple as that. You don't go over the ball. Listen, while you guys talking, to be honest with you, while you guys talking, I actually checked the 2 yellow cards that Jota got. You know that the second yellow, he rushed, and this is the Simon Hooper. That's over the last year and this year. He wants to be Mike Dean. He wants people to talk about him. He is so rushed to give the yellow card when Liverpool had 5 defenders in the back, and actually it's not that bad of a tackle. Jota's leg was on the floor. Okay,
we mean in the second yellow or the first yellow?
I just checked it slow motion. He rushed to give a second yellow. You know that Liverpool already 10 men. You know that that's his second foul in the game, Jota.
Yeah, and it was just after the first one. He could have just calmed it down and said, listen,
and if you play
careful.
football, you know that the first one is very unlucky because he tripped in him. Like your doggy tripped his knee. You guys know he didn't tackle him, right?
Yeah.
That's for me is the one that I'm talking about. The other one is that during the game, he's so quick to give Spurs every single 50-50 call. And I was noticing this. There is one Bissouma on Salah on the right side near the corner flag. Salah stole it. And that was for me in front of the linesman who did not raise the flag. And the referee chose from 50 yards to whistle and stop the game. You know why? That's why you're laughing, Deji. Because there was nothing there. Bissouma dwelled on the ball. To be honest, it's not about the goal. It's a mistake. It's all about the 50-50s in the game that were given towards Spurs. And Simon Hooper always wants to be. We have another Mike Dean, and he had a howler today, and he affected the result.
I hear your point, Mo, but I don't like the idea that when we're talking about this game, we're just going to go, let's ignore the goal because it was a mistake. Because the idea that you ignore a goal, which would have made it 1-0 to Liverpool, is
but it's not in his hand. It's not in his hand. That's the thing. It's not on the people on the ground. You know what I mean? He has been told it's offside. Move on.
Yeah. Look, on that side of things, I agree, but I don't separate them.
Yeah, of course.
They're an entity together because they talk to each other, so they should be able to communicate with each other.
But he asked him, was it offside? He can't see it. Was it offside? They told him, yeah, he was. Done. No. It's over. Conversation over.
How they got to that decision is a joke
it's a
in itself. How they got to that decision is a mental.
They are arrogant. They were offered the technology that is used in the Bundesliga and in Serie A and in La Liga now, which is a semi-automated system.
The World Cup.
Champions League.
But then they'd have to hand control over to someone. Then they wouldn't be able to control it. They'd be handing control over to someone, and they wouldn't like that because then they can't have the control. I think that is I think the more things like that happen, the more it does look like. Why are you trying to keep control of it? What is it? What is it that you want to be able to influence games? Is that what it is? I don't know, but I just think also there's something I want to go back and watch right on the after game coverage on Sky. When the statement came out and they were talking about the statement, Neville was there, and you know that the commentators they get to hear what's going on between VAR and
I didn't know that.
Well,
Yeah,
Neville was going, like when he heard the statement, he was going, no. And then I can't remember, but he seemed to have a bit of that isn't how it happened. Because like almost the statement they've said is not how it happened. He was going, no, that's not how it happened. Because I could hear it in my ears. That isn't how it happened.
I've listened back to it. He was going like, when like someone fucks up and gives a foul away and goes, oh, he was doing that, go like, oh no.
Yeah.
But while she kept reading it out because it looked bad, and then he said he said something along the lines of, obviously we get to listen in on it, and then he said check over very quickly, and I was going, that's not right. That's not right.
No,
Because
I want to move
looked
on.
Guys,
Before
can
we
I-
go
can
on,
I-
before
can I
we,
just-
sorry, Sad. Before we go on,
No,
I
go
want to
on,
do
go,
these super chats because I don't want him to pile up, and I want to talk a little bit about the football. To be honest,
Yeah,
Stephen saying
yeah.
can't wait for Spurs to get humbled. Big saying if Spurs are in a title race, then I'm a white woman. Whatever, man. Realistically, they are 1 point behind Man City after 7 games. This is how I'm gonna put it. Stephen again is saying PGMO already apologizing to Liverpool. What a joke! Yeah, they are a joke. We know that. Omar Rushdie is a Liverpool fan is saying Van der Ven penalty. I don't know what's that.
No,
Diaz
Virgil.
goal. No. Van der Ven. He
Never
said
a
there was a
penalty,
penalty. I don't think it's a penalty at all. He said first yellow, rash referee. Yes, he's very rash. VAR is an ass. 100%, Omar. They're lucky. They had a howler today. Sonny's saying betting company is the reason for corruption. We're moving into
Maybe.
conspiracy theories now. AMT is saying why the 2 that 1 are at the bottom.
Yeah, move
screen?
me. Sorry, you're right. There we go.
Here we go. And yes,
Mo, did have your team played yet, Mo?
4-0 we won.
All right, you
Away.
can stay there then. No problem.
Hit the like, guys. Hit that like button. There's still 1,400 of you here. Give me to 500 likes. The like button is underneath your live chat. It looks like thumbs up. Just close the live chat. If you're on your phone, hit that like button and come back chat with us. Come on, guys. It helps us move to the next person and get more people watching. Tidbix is saying, big up NAF. Liverpool were robbed 100%. PGMO are in the mud. If you cannot use VAR correctly, then get rid of it. A few mistakes is incompetence. Anymore, that is match fixing, which is what we're talking about here. Investigation needed. Now, they said they're going to investigate it. Maybe a story
But
will
who's
come
going
out
to?
like...
But here's the problem.
There's no
Who's going to
investigation.
Who's going to investigate it? They'll investigate it, and then it's like, oh,
You
right,
can't-
brilliant.
No, they can
if you
suspend the referee
truly-
or something. Let me
Go on,
finish.
go on. Yeah, go on,
Yeah,
Bob.
sorry,
Go on,
sorry,
go on.
man.
No, go on. No, you go. You go. You go. You land. You land.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah.
No. Listen, I just, bro. If they get somebody to, unless they get an independent body to come in and investigate this, it's gonna keep happening. The same thing. These guys are mates. These guys are best friends, man. They're good friends and they hang around with each other. They go to the pub together. These guys are mates. I'm not gonna go there if I'm them. I'm not gonna go and dig out my mate. We've even heard this being said by Mike Dean when he came out. I think he done an interview. He said, "Oh, I'm not. I didn't want to put him out there because it's stressful and the whole situation." These guys are. It's never going to be fixed until an independent body comes in, sorts everything, and actually, it's looked over by somebody else that's not.
It's never
part of that
happening, Sad.
refereeing team.
Sad. It's
And-
never happening. Never happening.
But you know the thing is with that. Obviously, I'm in agreement with you, Mo, in regards to the red card on Jota. Yeah, I don't think it was a red card. Listen, in any standard of the game, any level, you know from young, if you put your studs up when you're going for a tackle, you're finished. If your studs are showing, you're finished.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether you were going under the ball, over the ball. It doesn't matter.
Right.
The intent can come into it. Of course, there's a situation
There
where
is no
intent,
intention in red
You-
card.
you-
by the way.
No, but what I'm saying is a lot of Liverpool fans I've heard say, "Oh, but his intention wasn't even to do it. He slipped." But at the end of the day, if your studs are showing, you're finished. In the eyes of the law, you're finished in the game. Like you're done for. So unfortunately, it was.
He's unlucky, to be honest. He went for the ball and he's just
it was unlucky. It was unlucky,
but it's a red card.
I do want to speak about the football, but I'll let you finish this.
Yeah, let me finish these and then we'll move to the football. 2 apologies. Keegan is saying 2 apologies and 4 red cards in 7 games. That's brilliant. Absolutely.
He's gonna win us the league title. I hope he can
Yeah.
turn those apologies into points.
Yeah, Jamrook is saying Chris Wall had a similar tackle on Hendo where he went for a tackle and foot slipped on the ball and scissor tackle. VAR said it lacked the required force. Well, we can talk about Oliver Skip last year, which could have been a red as well. It's the same one, very similar. Honesty is saying Cody Gakpo in knee brace as Jurgen Klopp admits concern over bad injury, but where is the booking for that? We lost a player because of a Spurs tackle. Actually, that tackle wasn't even a free kick from you, doggy. But anyway, this is my opinion. I don't know if you agree or not. That tackle he got the ball. Ahmed Suleiman gifted 5 memberships. 2 people. Thank you, Ahmed.
you,
if
bro.
you became
Thank
a
you.
member in this stream, thanks to Ahmed. Of course. And AMT saying from now on, the on-field referees should remind the VAR team about the lines to be done, but they can't. That's what people don't understand.
The on-field referee should not need to remind the VAR how to do their fucking job. The VAR should know how to do their job. The VAR, they're there for 4 things. If they can't even manage one of the 4 things correctly, what are we even doing here, man?
Do you know one thing at work sometimes, right? I like say someone says, "Oh, I'm looking after this at the moment, but I'm going to hand it over to you to look after," and you're like, "Okay," but they keep doing it. Yeah, you're like, "Fuck it." Well, I'm not going to do it. If you're doing it, I'm not going to do it, right? Until they actually say, no, on this day, we're stopping and you are doing it, yeah? And I don't know if this whole, with referee, linesman and VAR, that everyone's becoming, oh, I don't want to make the call, I'll leave it to them. And therefore, it's just all fucked. It's just all fucked because everyone's trying to hope to get cover. And, well, if I'll blame them, they'll blame me, and then do you know what? No one will know who to blame, and we'll bamboozle everyone, and everyone will just like. And this is a thing that this investigation will be the same shit. One of their friends, and their friends will come in and investigate them, and then it will come back, and it will just be we're powerless, isn't it? It's mad. It's mad. This is where it's almost like, is there a governing body that can get involved, like UEFA or so? I don't know, that can get involved.
That's what I'm
and say,
saying.
this needs to fix up.
Let me finish this. Let me finish this quickly. Mandy's saying, Tom, wasn't you calling for Big Ange over Klopp? I don't think Ange was Postecoglou over tactic.
I was Ruben Amorim, not Ange Postecoglou.
Oh, all right then.
2 different
Good
fellas.
to know. Stephen is saying, if Gary Neville says it's wrong, you know it's bad.
Yeah, he even said it himself. He said, I don't know if I'm going soft because I haven't played for United for 10 years now, but I feel sorry for Liverpool today.
Omar is saying, human error for 62 centimeters. Do they think we are stupid? It's not that. They completely drew the line to the wrong person. That's the problem. Like, I feel for Deji, to be honest. He cannot celebrate the win. That's the problem. AMT is saying, but it's still bloody happening. It will happen. It will happen again. Marie Clark have been a member for 10 months with us.
Well done,
Hit that like
Love.
button. Everybody, thank you, Marie, for being a member with us. LG Brown is saying, Mo, do you now believe that the theory that these refs are doing bets on these games? No, are you serious? Bro, this is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of football if these referees are actually betting on the game.
Do you reckon refs' phones are looked at in that?
Are you serious? No.
I think they are.
I refuse to believe that. You know, I refuse to believe that.
You know what? I'm not a conspiracy theorist kind of guy, but sometimes it does get you to a point.
I
where
am,
like,
but
I'm just going to say,
on games.
I'm
imagine players placing bets on games.
I mean, are we just forgetting that story about how the FA tried to brush under the carpet that manager who got done for the same betting offence as Ivan Toney did? He was still allowed to manage, but Tony got 8 months of a ban.
Why is it mad? If players are doing it, right? If managers are doing it, if police are running up in trap houses, taking a crop and then selling it off to someone else, why would refs not be? Why would refs not be? Why? Like,
you can't tell me Michael Oliver hasn't chucked 20 quid on someone to get booked before and then just waited for the 50-50.
To give a record. Probably last one. Ted Bakes is saying officials hide behind VAR.
Yeah,
not very well either.
Think, yeah.
They do, actually. They do. Hit that like button, people. Almost 1,500 of you here. The button is how we keep this channel going and growing. So hit that like button for us.
Don't you think sometimes it's almost like if you're a referee, yeah, and imagine today as an example, you're a referee, it's a heated game, you've got 60,000 people there, every time there's a decision screaming at you, and it's on you to make the decision, and then VAR goes, we want you to go to the screen. Ultimately, you know, once you go to the screen, that's kind of now VAR's fault, right? It's almost like, the pressure's been taken off me now because VAR have, and I do think there's an element of that. Because the minute you are, like, we all know, yeah, the minute you are called to the screen, right, usually it gets overturned. No, but it's still your decision, but usually it gets overturned because it's like we all know what our minds are like, bro. Our minds, take everything that's happened in our past. Your mind, the minute you're walking over to that screen, is telling you you need to overturn this, just because otherwise, why else have they called you over there? Why else have they called you over there?
I can't. So Dale Johnson from ESPN's said this is apparently the rundown of what happened in VAR for the Diaz goal.
Yep.
So the Diaz goal went in, and the on-field decision was offside. Yes. So the VAR official, Darren England, checked the decision but believed the goal was originally given onside, which is why the check
Oh my-
happened so quickly. Then he said check complete, and the decision was made for it to be offside. And before Darren England realised, play had restarted, so he couldn't re-intervene. So we have lost out on points in a Premier League
Negligent.
match because Darren
Negligent.
England couldn't hear. Darren England doesn't understand the difference. Couldn't hear what was being said. But it was
Maybe they
onside
were
or
speaking in
offside.
Scouse or something to him, so he just couldn't. No.
No, these are old men, man. These are old men. Like seriously, and nobody is gonna become. I heard. Listen, someone was saying this
Someone
exact
just
thing, bro.
sent me the Bissouma Salah thing. It's embarrassing. It's
Go on,
embarrassing.
go on. Please
But
finish
sorry,
your
I'm
point, bro.
sorry, I'm
No, that's so good.
No,
It's so good.
finish your point.
No,
please.
no, I'm sorry,
No,
Sad.
it's-
I'm sorry, Sad. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's so good, bro. It's so good. Listen, they're old guys, and nobody's really gonna take these refereeing jobs anymore. Nobody is gonna take it because they get a lot of slack. They get
They
a
do.
lot of slack, and
They do.
the fact is, they're coming into. Imagine I'm a referee now. Yeah, I'm studying to be a referee. I'm doing my experience, getting my games on. Yeah, and then I'm coming in to a whole situation where the people that are ahead of me and the higher ups haven't got a clue. That's like going into a workplace where nobody on top of you, nobody ahead of you has a clue. So not a lot of people are even going to want to go into this. It's not even like we're going to get a refresh of these referees, man. They're
But
just
do you know
gonna
what
be the
makes it
same
worse,
ones.
though? Do you know what makes it worse? Imagine, yeah, and this is how I actually think it is. Imagine you've got your badges, right, and you've got them for the right reason because you want to go in and make a change. You know all the rules. You're shit hot at your job, right? You go in and you notice that all the elder lot that are there are shit at their job, haven't got a clue. However, every time you try and go, oh, no, actually, it should be this, they go, nah, and just say, tell you no. Tell you no, that's not how it is, mate. That's not how it's done round here. Listen, we're not going against him. He's my pal. That's how it is, even when you know it. And I honestly think with the FA, that's how it is. It's jobs for the boys, and anyone that does come in, it needs a complete from top to bottom.
Right.
And I really like this idea of, by the way, in the Premier League, they bring in foreign referees with no, just with no, bro, with no like allegiance to anyone, no nothing. They come in and maybe after 3 years they rotate so that they can't become. Do you know what? Well, I live in Manchester. I'm kind of starting to get a bit. Nope, just keep swapping it over. And this is, and you know what? And we do the same with other countries and see if our refs can. They probably wouldn't want our refs, but it's something has to change, man. It does. I think it's probably with
the
Liverpool.
other thing is. This is the best league in the world. This is the self-pronounced, self-proclaimed best league in the world, and it is officiated like the worst. We let the officials run the league in the worst way possible. You cannot have both. You can't be the best league in the world, which is officiated the worst. One's got to give, and they are showing no desire or no intention to change the way they're refereeing. None. So it's just going to end up going one way.
Yeah, I agree. Look, for me personally, I said this on, I can't even remember whose stream I was on. I actually liked things before VAR.
Yeah.
Because actually the referees, maybe 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times, they do get the decision right. What VAR has done, as it's made referees lazy, they don't have to work as hard. The lino doesn't have to do the line as hard as he used to. You go to VAR to double check. For me, VAR was supposed to be put in place for obvious errors. Things like the Diaz goal today. Go and check on VAR. That's a bloody goal. Things like the Garnacho goal against Arsenal. Those kind of iffy moments. Or when the ball crosses the line. Tottenham scored a goal at Old Trafford. The whole thing went over the line, and guess what? It wasn't given a goal. Those kind of obvious moments. But in bringing in VAR, it gets complicated. Now we're looking at toenail. Now we're looking at someone's hairpiece. If you've got a big nose, then you're offside. Do you know what I mean? Stupid things like
Yeah,
that.
I agree with that.
Overcomplicate.
Yeah, I
Just
agree.
keep it simple.
But even, do you know what? Even the little simple things, like when you're at a game and you score a goal and you don't want to celebrate because you're like, you celebrate for 2 seconds. You're like, hold on a second, actually, and you're looking around, and just little things like that. Even with But it's a hard one. I don't know, because what I was going to say there is sometimes I think they've made it too minute, even on the offside rule. But at the same time, that could go both ways, couldn't it? So it's. But I think, Mo, we need to talk about the game a little bit more
Talk
away
about the
from
football
decisions.
now.
Talk about what players stood out. Talk about I think
I'm
Madison
gonna
was
let
good
the
again.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can I just say, and I hear Tom's point about the red cards, and I actually want to say that the way Tottenham played made Liverpool make those errors. For me, I thought Madison was cooking. What a brilliant goal by Son. And, I actually felt that the Spurs players were going toe-to-toe. I was confident that Udogie was going to have Salah on lock. And I think Udogie had a great job. He played a great game. My issue yesterday, I talked about it, was Porro. Could Porro stop Diaz? I didn't think so. We saw it again today. Diaz was getting a lot of love, a lot of space. But like I said, we only had 26 minutes of 11v11, and then the whole game was a disaster. But from our perspective, orange ball caused the kind of errors from the Liverpool players. We still played our game. But at the same time, I have to say, Liverpool showed levels today. Because for me, if you're a Premier League side, I don't give a damn who you are. Once one player goes, that is a gaping hole. With the way that teams are set up, that these are elite players, that is a gap. And I saw Liverpool look stronger than Spurs with 10 men than when they had 11. I actually think Liverpool have got the whole 10 game of 10 pattern. And then when Liverpool went to 9, we just couldn't break the lines. They were so disciplined. They brought on 3 fresh legs. And so for me, the way that Liverpool coped in the circumstance, I was very impressed with that. And I felt a little bit flat and disappointed because naturally, if you've got an extra man, you should win. That's my opinion. And we struggled to get over the line, and we won by an own goal. So for me, as much as I would like to say Tottenham played well, we played the Tottenham way, orange ball, it was clear to see that we were lacking an attacking edge. And I said yesterday on the show that Tottenham's strength is also our weakness, being that it's our attack that I've got the biggest issue with. And really and truly, when you really sit back, our attack didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. Pretty much the whole game. Yeah. So I was kind of disappointed. I wanted more from my team given the circumstances.
But 3 points against Liverpool, you've still celebrate, bro. You have to.
Actually, I'll let Tom go first. Tom, you go first.
I'll look at it from a Liverpool perspective. I thought we played better than Tottenham considering the way the game went. I thought that while it was 11v11, Tottenham I can't remember the stats, but I think Tottenham had more on the ball, but I remember that we had the better chances.
Yeah.
Then when it went down to 10 versus 11, barring the first 10 minutes after the red card, which is where you got your goal, once that had passed, I thought we settled into a rhythm. You had a 5-10 minute spell in the second half as well, where you had a Maddison shot, which Alisson saved, a Son shot, which was a brilliant save from Alisson again.
Oh, sensational save, actually.
Yeah, he's a joke. And then once it went down to 9, we shut up shop and can feel really, really disappointed that we didn't leave with a point at least. It was just type of goal sometimes, mad own goal, some finish. But I thought that we went in there with a game plan. I was a little bit disappointed in terms of the pressing. I thought that we've set a standard for pressing and that wasn't there today. But I think that also was a byproduct of almost respect for Tottenham. We were letting you build up because we knew that your pasta was easier if we got the press wrong. But I feel that people said the game died off when the first red card happened. The game died off the moment the second one happened because then we took off our attackers and we set up in a 5-3 and just went, we're going to hold out for something. Like we had no forward man. Dominic Szoboszlai was effectively our striker. And Dominic Szoboszlai with the ball, playing the balls of the striker, so he'd boot the ball up and then chase his own ball. Like it was disappointing to see how the game went, but I thought we could leave that game with a hell of a lot of positives. I thought for a number of periods in that game, we were the better side, we had better chances, which is all you can ask for when you're playing away from home at a top 6 side. Obviously, you had the offside one, a couple of good saves from Vicario. Diaz was about an inch away from making it 2-1 right on the stroke of half time.
Was that the
The double save, I think.
So
That was the.
no, what was it? What was the one
it.
that someone put the ball across the box and it was
That was
on
Salah.
the left
Salah
side.
put it
Salah
on
put it
Diaz.
across, and Diaz
Yeah.
just slid in and didn't get any contact on it.
Yeah.
But like
Salah-
Tottenham done some good things. I thought Mickey van der Ven was very good. I didn't
Okay.
realise how quick he was.
he's freaking quick.
I've got to be honest as well. I know he's got a fair few pelters from Tottenham fans. I thought Kulusevski was all right.
Yeah.
I thought the issue he had was Porro never gave him the overlap enough. So he'd get the ball, he'd cut inside, and then because he never had the overlap, we could just push him down a channel and run him into Van Dijk or Matip or McAllister who tackle him. Whereas if he had the overlap, Robertson would then have to be dragged out because Luis Diaz doesn't really track back. Robertson would be dragged out, and Kulusevski would have the space that he needs to create. The few times he got that space, he put in some dangerous balls. I thought the other fella who had a really good game was what's his name?
Fella.
Bissouma. That's it.
Again.
I was mixed up between him and Sarr. Bissouma was good. You know, I thought when I saw Gakpo starting, I thought it was going to be like how we used to do with Bobby, where it would be Firmino sacrifices his attacking side and is just told to almost man mark the DM. And we didn't do that. And Bissouma got on a hell of a lot of joy. So he'd get the ball from Romero or Van der Ven and just drive 30 yards and no one could keep up with them. And then I thought Gakpo got into it towards the end of the half, and then obviously he went off injured. And then we brought on Jota and played him in the wrong position. That just sort of faded away. But I think both teams can leave happy with parts and disappointed with parts. I certainly don't think it's a telling game because it was never. It wasn't really a fair contest.
It's a telling game for me. It was a telling game for me. Told me a lot. Today's told me a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Today's told me a lot in the overall landscape of football. But I'll move on to that in a minute when we talk on City.
All right, let me just take a moment because I have to enter the most non-biased part of myself that I can, because obviously I hate Spurs and everything they stand for as a club and all their players, but I'm coming to this completely unbiased. Son was amazing today. Maddison was amazing today. Vicario, that double save that he done,
unreal.
Was world class. I'm not saying he's a world class keeper, but that was world class. Like a world class keeper makes those double saves. That's something that you'd think Alisson would do. Romero looked good. I think there was one time when he was chasing Salah, and when you get on the wrong side of Salah, he can spin you. We've seen it happen to Martinez, who I think is a better centre back than Romero, and he got spun. So that's just my personal opinion. But listen, we saw him get spun, but Romero actually held his ground and managed to get the block off and get it put out for a throw-in, I think it was, or something like that. So I think he had a good game. Bissouma, again, a good game from him. He just controls games. He's able to put himself in the right position at all times to intercept the ball and just take control of that midfield, which obviously, listen, it's night and day between the player that we saw last year, who was playing in a system which didn't really suit them, the Conte ball and all that, to what he is now. And listen, a lot of those Spurs players played very well today. I'll be honest with you. I was watching that game and they played well, and they're slowly telling the people that, listen, we're actually here. This new system, it works better. We look more fluid. And the thing is, if we go to the Liverpool side, Salah had a good game. I think Diaz, he had a good game at times, but then at times he missed that shot that you have to get. I know he was stretching for it, but you have at the top level, you have to get a foot to that. If you don't get a foot to that, then it's just that's going to be marked as a massive mistake, and you get done for that, slated. So overall, I think the fact that the Liverpool players were able to fight through, given that they were 9 man down, they were 2 man down, left to 9 men, and they were still able to fight. I agree that the fact that I think after they went to 9 men, Tottenham really got into the game. And surprisingly, another player from Tottenham, which actually surprised me because he was getting on the ball a lot and actually creating a lot, was Richarlison.
Agree. It surprised me today.
He honestly,
I'm not saying I rate him, but today I think he stepped up a little
good
bit.
on the left. I said it yesterday. He's good on the left.
Better on the left. Yeah.
He was putting in that side or that ball from the left, and every time he was finding Son. He was
better
finding
on the left
Son.
than he is through the middle.
Yeah, 100%.
Sometimes it is like for me with Jesus again. I'll keep saying it. Jesus' best season at City was on the right. Like that. Sometimes players like it is what it is, but they don't want to play there, so that's fine. But I thought Richarlison exactly the same. It got to the last couple of minutes, and I actually sat there thinking in my head, do you know what? Richarlison, who by the way, whenever City play him, I've never thought he's been that good. But today, I thought he's done a job today. He's been all right, man. He's been all right. Like,
but Daps, you know, another just quickly, another player that really surprised me from Liverpool, yeah, because listen, the questionable moments this season in regards to his card and that, yeah, and Alisson, he always has good games, man. This guy is the best keeper in the world.
For me,
the best keeper in the world.
Easy.
He's going to have his name up there in the history of keepers.
The only one I think put near him is Coutinho, but I think not Coutinho. Courtois. Courtois.
He's the only
one. He won't, sad.
Alisson's better.
He won't. Alisson will not be remembered. But he is.
Nah. There's no way, bro. There's no way. Okay,
I'm being honest. Listen, I am telling you guys. I'm telling you.
It's cold.
I'm coming from the other side, and I'm telling you. Alisson is fantastic. One of the best goalkeepers in the world in the last 5 years. He won't be remembered because of the number of trophies.
Fair enough.
Which is shame.
It's a shame, man. He's unreal.
You know how
even
it is
in Liverpool's bad seasons, man. Like he's just unbelievable.
I disagree.
We'll do this. No,
I disagree. I don't think he'll be remembered as fondly. On the basis of trophies alone, I don't think he'll be remembered as fondly. But considering that people remember Dida. Like if Dida still getting mentioned,
won Champions League,
Alisson's getting mentioned.
Went to Champions League.
Do you know what?
Won the World Cup with Brazil.
But the thing
Dida was the backup. No, I'm not. Dida was the backup. This is something people forget. Dida weren't even the starting keeper that year. He was the backup. It was like if
I think about it that we know that Alisson is the better goalkeeper in the world right now. He is.
Do you know what it is with Alisson? Yeah, Mo. Do you know what it is with Alisson though? That I think almost a bit harsh on him, yeah, is that like with De Gea, we'll go about when United had bad seasons and how he saved them, right? Yeah. Alisson's also done that for Liverpool. Like 100%, in Liverpool, Alisson and Salah.
Alisson got him to Champions League.
Well,
with a goal.
Alisson and Salah, right?
He literally did that.
When Liverpool have had bad seasons, Alisson and Salah have still had like probably the best goalkeeper in the league season and the best right winger in the league season when Liverpool have been playing bad. That's how
it's just shame how the world works. But anyway, I want to move on to City, but I want to do this.
Sorry, Mo, can I just say
go.
The play that I was talking about that surprised me a lot was Van Dijk. He had an amazing game today.
Stepped up today again.
He stepped up and gave a captain's performance.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's a moment in
season. I think this is the thing people aren't. Obviously, he had the red card moments against Newcastle, but he's been doing that all season. Van Dijk. He's never going to be. You know when people say, "Oh, Van Dijk's back to his best," he's never going to be back to his best.
No,
because Tom, he's got no need for that. But he's still performing the best centre back in the world.
Today he looks.
Tom, do you know what? I remember if you go back to Vinny had his first couple of seasons at City and whatever, then he went through the period of injury. And then I'll always remember Vinny's last 6 months at City, the season where he scored the goal against Leicester. And for that 6 month period.
Yeah, I remember them as well. When he should have been on the injury bed and he was putting in man of the match.
All of a sudden, he just stepped back up and looked young again. And all of a sudden looked back to old Vinny for 6 months. But there was this one moment with Van Dijk as well, where I saw a look in his eye where you had I think a corner in maybe about the 94th minute, yeah. And Van Dijk just had this look in his eye of like, I'm back, captain. I want to score a winner here. Like, and I just look at little things like that and thought, you know what? And do the super chats, and we'll move on to City. But also, I want to talk about what I've seen today and what that means on the Premier League
since
overall.
He's got that captaincy, he's stepped up. I was someone who, when he got it in the summer, was a bit pessimistic because he's not necessarily had the best record as the Dutch captain. I was going, is he someone that can handle the pressure of captain and it doesn't affect his performance? No, he's been brilliant. And he's taken on that role really well. And as long as he can stay fit and we can sort out who his partner is
for an extended period of time, we'll be fine. The defense doesn't worry me. To be honest, not much of this Liverpool team worries me at the minute. That's why I've not sat there today and went, oh, it's this, that, because I've got a lot of positives from today, and I'm more confident after today than I was after a number of games this season.
Tom, all you're missing is a DM. I promise you, all you're missing.
Oh yeah, we miss a DM, but also it isn't one that we can buy.
They skip the DM. I don't know if that might.
Today they skipped the DM and they created in the before the red card. By the way, listen. My point about the game is I look at the two teams and I see positives, but the two negatives is that Liverpool did exactly what Arsenal did. They had chances in the first 20 minutes and they didn't score. But it wasn't mistakes from Spurs, by the way. It was just bypassing the press and having one-on-ones, and they didn't use it. And I actually thought that Liverpool attackers should have used these chances more. They had 7 shots in the first 22 minutes. So they should have scored the goal.
What minute did Jota get sent off?
Jota got sent off 69 minutes.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if this is relevant, but did you notice when he got sent off that they had Trent and Nunes ready to come on?
Yeah, and he didn't bring Nunes.
Of course he didn't, but it was interesting. It was like, right, does he feel the game is stretched now? Exactly what we were saying before. Throw Trent on, throw Nunes, balls over the top, and can we expose him? I thought it was quite interesting.
Trent won 3 corners by himself. That was the whole plan.
Left, Salah to the right, and Nunes straight into Romero and Van der Ven.
Listen, Deji, I'm going to tell you one thing. Yes, if you can do this against Liverpool and Arsenal and you still didn't lose, I think you can do this against anybody other than City.
Mate,
I want to move on. I want to move on to City. I know that you want to, but I have to.
Because Kas is going to be here any minute, and I know once Kas is here, everyone's going to want to go on that, and we must talk about City. We can't get away with this. We need to talk
not hate on Matip, please. It happens, but it was a bozo moment. I watched it again. It was a freaking bozo moment. Tumba Lion is saying, to be honest, a loss never felt so good. We're on Matt Ting from now on. You never walk alone. Proud Liverpool fans should be proud. Tariq Rashid is saying congrats to Spurs, but this game shows that we have our mentality monsters back. We are in the title race till the end. Realistically, you are. Sonny Bidel is saying nothing to do with the refs. Betting companies losing money. Believe it. I don't know. I'm not a betting man, so I don't know. AMT saying go back like before. Advantage to the attackers. Maybe they're never going to do that.
I like that one though.
They
I do like that one.
They're gonna try. Mr. Link is saying Spurs didn't have a shot on target until they read. They had one, but yes. They had one. Tariq Rashid is saying, Deji, bro, respectfully, I disagree with you. Why VAR is not an issue in other European leagues? It is. You just don't watch. Or international competitions. People just don't realize how much the Liga talk about corruption in Serie A and Bundesliga. It happens everywhere. But it's not as blatant as drawing the wrong line. But it happened in the Italian league last year for Juventus. Klopp, second half, subs hurt us. Trent, Nunes, not Jota. I thought Nunes, if he came on, he needed midfielders to close the game. He almost got away with the point. So to be honest, nobody can fault Jurgen Klopp. He always got away with the point. So which is with 9 men.
That was the right decision, Mo.
Yeah, like you cannot fault the guy. How would we say
he has to try and salvage something. He has to try and salvage
is saying, I will say it now. Alisson top 3 all-time goalkeeper in the Prem.
Yeah, potentially Schmeichel.
I'd say top 5.
Schmeichel Czech and Alisson. I'd probably.
People that are telling me they draw the lines, guys. Tom explained it. They did not draw the lines. They saw it's fine. Let's move on.
They didn't draw the lines because they believed that they were checking is he onside, and he went, well, he's comfortably onside. So then they said, oh, okay, check complete, and then they took the free kick and went, oh shit, we've said the wrong thing here, but now we can't go back because the free kick's been taken. That fucking makes sense, doesn't it?
Congrats to Spurs, but this game show. I did that one. And Mr. Link is saying Madison played one good pass today. Tottenham looked toothless for large parts of the game. It's very frustrating to see the refs make such an impact.
I think you've got to wait. I think got to wait up toothless. I think that this is the thing. Just because we defended well doesn't mean Tottenham attacked badly. We set up with for the last 20 minutes of that game with a back 5 and 3 defensive-minded midfielders. Tottenham were always going to struggle to create a clear-cut chance, and I don't think Maddison played just one pass. I don't think Maddison had as big an impact as he had against Arsenal, but the moments we didn't pick him up and the moments we weren't touch tight to him,
He created stuff, which is what these sort of players do.
I feel like Maddison.
I
I feel
don't
like
think it's
Maddison
fair.
got quieter when you had players sent off. The mad thing is that
Yeah, because we almost took it
Yeah.
felt like we took
less
Szoboszlai
space
on
to
him and
move him
just told
probably
him
because
to
you
do
were
it.
playing lower block and whatever.
Uh,
But
There's a massive
Virgil
difference.
van Dijk. Sorry.
No,
Virgil van
no,
Dijk
that's fine.
has not been the same since that Pickford challenge.
that's
Listen,
rubbish.
yeah, but he's adapting though. 32 years old. I think he's still
Yeah.
good, a very good centre back, to be honest.
Still
Did
good.
Alisson give a shot to Matip for the cross? We don't know. We have
Oh,
no
by the way,
idea why
hold on.
Matip-
That's interesting. But you know what I did rate from Alisson? And maybe it is because he didn't give a shout. But the minute that went in, and this is where there was an interview with Alisson, I think at the start of the season, that really impressed me, right? After a game where he came out and the way he spoke, it might have been the Chelsea game. I thought, wow, that sounds a bit like a captain type interview. The minute that goal went in, literally, the minute that goal went in, he was over to Matip, tapping him on the back, going, don't worry, bro, trying to lift his head. And I thought, you know what? I liked seeing that from a player, like not leaving him to take it by himself, going straight over, trying to pick him up. Because do you know what? I'm not going to lie. Listen, everyone knows I hate Liverpool. I hate them. But I don't the amount all them defenders had to defend today and then to concede a goal like that. I feel for Matip today because, you know, he's on the coach on the way home thinking this is all on me, and it isn't. It isn't.
Omar Rushdie is saying, I just hope Gakpo isn't badly injured. It doesn't look good. But yes, praise to God. Listen, Man City, though, Daps. I said yesterday, is Rodri overrated? Because people told me that he is.
Hold on. See, you shouldn't have joined so quickly, Kas. You shouldn't have joined so quickly because, sorry, before Kas takes what everyone wants to give him, we have to talk on City because today we have, look, I don't want to be reactionary and start losing my head because I was in January, February last year saying everything's fine. We know what will happen business end of the season. So I'm not going to seven games in now start going, that's it. You know, City aren't the same or whatever. But we do have to look at it. And we do have to look at some things. There's been past seasons where we could have made it easy for ourselves and we made it difficult, right? And I just look at today's game, to be honest with you, and Rodri is out against Newcastle. Phillips came in and it didn't work. And I was screaming against Arsenal. I want to see a cover Nunes pivot, right? So we did the cover Nunes pivot today. And there's factors to it, but ultimately it didn't work, right? Now, the facts are Nunes today probably wasn't a good idea today away at Wolves, where we have to remember Nunes went AWOL, right? Nunes skipped training. It's not a good day for him, right? They're going to be on him. Wolves is an old school stadium. It gets loud when they score. But I'm here right now, today. I can't tell you a City player that played well today. And first and foremost, Wolves F1, you will be in the chat. I have to give your side maximum respect today because, yes, we were bad, but you lot did everything you had to do correctly. You defended in a low block, so organised for the whole game, right? On the counters, you were very, very good, made them count. Pedro Neto, listen, I've been a big Pedro Neto fan from day, right? One season in the Premier League, when he was 18 years old, I was saying he looks so much like a Liverpool player, yeah? But then he got the injuries. Then he came back, and I said, if he lands, then he got other injuries. I'll say it again, if Pedro Neto has one whole season at Wolves cooking, Liverpool will be back looking at him going, he could suit our front three. Because today,
next season,
bro, he's unreal. And I'll be honest, Ake could not... everyone knows Ake last season, unbelievable. Ake today, he was being cooked. I struggle. Foden wasn't good today. And the thing is, when I sit here and I look at City and I think, okay, Rodri is a big deal. It's one game, so I can't go, no, fuck that pivot off, don't do that pivot. But today that pivot did not work, right? And then I have to look at other teams and I have to go, do you know what? Liverpool, they're back. They're back cooking. They are. Look, I'm not going to change my opinion that I do think in the back end of the season, when everything comes on top and whatever else, I do think maybe it's one season too early for them, but they are back. Yeah, they are 9 men and fighting like that. I look at Tottenham, bro, I don't think your squad's good enough to go the full length and being in a title race, but even if you're causing issues for other people in the title race and they're dropping points to you and whatever else. And then Arsenal today, salute, stepped up, 4-0 win away from home. And it's momentum for me. Now, I'm not in meltdown mode. I could be in meltdown mode, but I'm not, because we're still top of the league, right? And we're still without, I think we missed Bernardo Silva massively today, by the way. I think that was another thing, maybe him and Rodri. There was no pace in the ball, the way we were moving the ball. And it was one of those games where we scored a free kick after that. You know, when you watch highlights on Sky Sports, because before I came on here, I said, let me watch the highlights. And the highlights was a Walker shot, right, that the keeper saved and held on to, and the Calvin Phillips deflection in like the 85th minute that went way over. And I'm like, well, that tells you, and this is where people, when you talk XG, City's XG was better than Wolves today. That does not tell the story, yeah? Like, for me, I can't come in here and say I'm happy. Like, the beauty is, I think after the first season under Pep, we have only ever lost 2 games on the bounce before we get a win again. This is now our second game in 3 days we've lost without Rodri. I think we missed Gundogan today, by the way. I think we massively missed him. There's points where I thought they're playing the low block. We're struggling to break them down. This is where a player like Gundogan might be the difference. But all is not, look, I didn't think we'd go invincible. I didn't. So I'm not going, we can't do the invincible now. Nah, bro, I didn't. It's, look, invincible when you're trying to invincible when you're trying to do one thing, invincible when you're trying to also retain a Champions League, do a 4-peat and all of that. It's hard to do, bro. And I can't see Alvarez. Positive. Alvarez showed us he can take set pieces. But to be honest with you, I've got to say salute to Wolves, and the only City fans, all is not lost. Think about last season and how our season started last season. We have a manager that maybe missing Rodri is a bigger deal than we thought, but we've got a manager that will work. It is, but we've got a manager that will work that out, because we've missed KDB, we've missed all these players. Pep works it out in a quicker time than any other manager can. So I'm not going, fuck me. We're still going to do the 4-peat. Let me be clear.
Sad. Your team 4-0. 2 away wins on the bounce. City are coming to your ground without Rodri. You're confident, bro. You're confident.
Listen, the thing is, you have to understand. At first, I would have said, if I have all my players, I'm 100% confident, because I've always said that Rodri is the big. They can lose De Bruyne, they can lose Bernardo Silva, they can lose a lot of players from that team, and it won't really make a difference, because overall, if they have their spine helps them.
Yeah.
But Rodri is that spine. He controls everything, from the defending to how good the defenders going forward to how the attackers. He's there to do attacks. We saw it against what was it when he scored that late goal? Was it Sheffield United? Yeah. Sometimes this guy would even put the club on his back. He would say, "Don't worry, I'll score the winner for you guys." He did it against us when they beat us 2-1. He's the one who scored that goal, last-minute goal to win them the game. This guy has been a pain in my backside for the last however many years, man, that he's been there. So, listen, as long as I have my players back, and I have at least...
Well, you have most of them back today, to be fair, bro.
Yeah. Listen,
that's the other thing.
Us, man.
Bro,
he pump faked me badly, because I got told leading up to this game that we don't have... what's his name? Saka. Saliba hasn't trained. Declan Rice hasn't trained. Fabio Vieira hasn't trained. I got told all of these players haven't trained.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, these guys are playing, and the rest of them are on the bench. The only one that that wasn't in there was Martinelli, who is apparently.
I think Martinelli.
That game.
Bro, I'll be honest with you. I think it's a massive week for City and Arsenal, of course, because next weekend, and furthermore, even more so now, because the points dropped, because we could have gone into next week going, and by the way, it is only game week 8 or whatever, so this is not a title decider or anything like that, but, momentum's a massive thing for Arsenal to get a result over. Oh, it's important, bro. That's what I'm saying. Listen, if you get a result over us, over us in the league, it's then right, we can get a result over Liverpool, over City, and it's the same thing as I've always said. But this is where I think it's big, that this week it's interesting to see what you do, right? Because you have Champions League on Wednesday, we have Champions League on Wednesday, I feel you probably still need to rest players, because there are players with, so will you or won't you, right? I don't know. With us, we know we won't have Rodri next week. It's not a will he be back, won't he be back? He's suspended. We don't have Rodri. So now I'm interested to see on You're saying if Martinelli's back in training on Monday, will he start? Well, I need to delve and look at Stones. I need to delve and look at Bernardo Silva, because for me, I need at least one of them back, bro. I'm not going to lie. I need one of them back, because at the moment, when you talk about the spine, yeah, Rodri's part of the spine, but we can also name John Stones is part of the spine. We can also say
that's
Bernardo.
the one thing I'm scared of.
And
if John Stones
them,
comes back, I'm like...
And this is a thing, without Rodri, without Stones, without all of a sudden with that, it's like, you know what? This isn't the City that went on the 16-game run. And I'll stand by. Oh, by the way, Vardy being out today, maybe that was a big miss as well. There's misses, but at the moment, it's told me that, you know what? I speak a lot about if other teams get injuries, but do you know what I need to hold? If my team get injuries, it also impacts my team, right? And do you know what? Grizz said football's a humbler. And today, do you know the last thing I said, Kas, on Soccer Brunch this morning? I said,
you said you got a bad feeling yesterday night.
Yeah, about Wolves, bro. Look, and sorry, Tom, I hate to say this to you, yeah? The one time that we went and fucking battered Wolves with the season we were in a title race with you.
Yeah, when fucking KD...
Wolves away, it's not easy.
I sat there and looked at the fixtures he's had and I went, Wolves away, it's a dodgy one, that one. And
yeah.
KDB's turned up. I've got a question for you, though.
Sorry, can I just say one last thing? I said this morning, and if Kas was about all day, I think he would have clipped this up and played this. The last thing I said on Soccer AM this morning, sorry, not Soccer AM, Soccer Brunch, was we need, as a content creator, as a channel owner with Mo, Kas, Ty, we need the football algorithm gods to give us some losses today. Don't worry, it's not going to be my team. And that is the last thing I said, yeah? That is the last thing I said. And that is how football is a humbler. Now, let me be clear. I want my channel to do well, 100%. However, not at the detriment of my fucking club. Like, that is not good. Like, so...
But good. Let me do this super chat. Go ahead, Tom.
It's a lot of players today, and it's not good. We suffer from injuries, and it's the level drop off clear.
City, why? Because this is something I saw happen last season as well. Why do you just go? Is there like a reason why you go through spells where you just can't get Haaland into the game? Because like it happened last season in like January time where I won a game where Haaland really get involved. Now today, I barely saw him. Is this just like a system thing where like it's going to sound horrible. It probably isn't, but like it's like a pride thing where you're like, no, we won't lump it long.
No, it's no, it's not a pride thing. It's a Pep thing. Like Pep has, I know people that go and have been around the ground where there's training, and like early last season, apparently Haaland in training sometimes would try and drop deep, and Pep would be going, no. When you drop into the midfield, you bring a load of players with you, and then that you're now in the channels where Foden, Alvarez, Bernardo Silva, and everyone else operates. Don't go in there because you're flooding that area. I mean, look, if I wanted to look at it and give reasons or excuses, I could say maybe if Pep was on the touchline today, he might have seen that and said something, but he wasn't. But again, do you know what? The same way that Pep was pissed off at Rodri getting sent off, Pep wasn't on the touchline today because he didn't control his temper last week. So, you know, that we have to hold that. There's nothing a club does that I will not hold. We have to hold that. That's it. That's our club's fault.
Haaland's that type of player. He will never. The thing is with Haaland, he's that type of player that for City, we said this, or I said this countless amount of times. He wouldn't have many touches in the game. He'd have like 5 or 6 touches in the game, and then of a sudden he'd be there. He'd be there to finish off the goal when he's needed.
Yeah, 100%.
He'll be there to finish it off.
Well, this is the thing we were discussing. So before when we're making shows to put the thumbnail up, we discuss who to put on the thumbnail. And you know what? The easy one to go with is Haaland, because quite simply, if Haaland doesn't have a touch, he doesn't look good. Yeah. But for me, there's no one on this panel right now that's going to tell me that potentially next week, Haaland might score, right? So this Haaland having a bad game is not news, right? Haaland having a game where he's not involved is not news, yeah? Because we've had the chance to go, Haaland's dropped off. And what happens? Next game, he goes and scored 2 goals. So I think you're right. That is the player he is. When we bought him, we knew we weren't getting a false 9. We weren't getting a player that was going to do that. We were getting an Erling Haaland that comes in, breaks record, wins us a treble. And that is what it is. I just think today, look, City were not cooking, weren't moving the ball quick enough. Defensively, we weren't looking good enough. And we just have to hold that. And hopefully that's a kick up the arse for Pep to say to these players, this is not going to be the walk in the park that you think it is. There's other teams here, and we can't afford to drop these points because we could have gone to the Emirates 4 points ahead. We're now not, right? And
That's what scares me more, though.
It's as simple as that.
That scares.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Kas, you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care, bro. You are not in the top 4 race. You are not even bro. I don't know where you are.
Why are there so many injuries this season? It's bad for a lot of teams, actually.
Yeah.
MT saying what's funny that when Nunes was a sub, the crowd cheered when he was subbed out.
Oh, that Gomez for them in the first half was cold, by the way, as well. Very cold.
Edmund Corin's therapy saying Silva and Stones back next week. Arsenal won't win. Listen,
but are they being rushed back, bro? Are they being rushed back?
Yes, they might. But I want. Actually, I don't want Kas. I want Deji because he told me, he texted me, and he said, "When is Kas coming?" Deji, what are you saying?
Smash the like
always win.
Hold on,
smash the like
for Kas because he's literally walked in the house and jumped straight on from a long travel from. So, go on, Kas.
Big up to Kas. Just to say that if Arsenal are looking all right and they could do City over, I'm just hoping that those 2 players, Stone and Silva, come back, or it could be long for Man City. But mate, Manchester United, I don't know what to say to you, my brother. I don't know what to say. I told you about this guy last year, mate, Eric Ten Hag. Manchester, Old Trafford is like English heritage. You don't go there to beat Manchester United. That's not done. Really what happens is you go there and you huff and puff, you hope to get a draw. Right now, Old Trafford is as dusty and decrepit as the stadium is right now. Kas, I can't lie. Losing at home to Crystal Palace is a disgrace. Manchester United, I've been saying it. We can no longer call you one of the big guns. You're no longer a big gun, man. You're not. Let's just get this out of our head. And when are you going to get rid of Eric Ten Hag, bro? Because right now, the way things are going, bro, it's looking, top 10 is looking kind of difficult. And that's me. I'm not even running joke. This is not even about banter. It looks poor. You've got 11 or 22 individuals. It's not clicking. It ain't going to click. And the January transfer window isn't going to be enough to sort it out. Kas, I'm just saying, there is a space next to me at my club. Like, there is a space. If you want to do a temporary kind of release and just come away from what's going on over there, if you want to come to London, come over, bro. I'll take you. I'll support you. I'll feed you. I'll do all of that, bro. But please, 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 your club is like the Titanic. It's a sinking ship. And the water's coming in from the bottom. For me, Manchester United is fully dusty right now. I can't even respect them. I really can't.
So, did you watch the game, yes or no?
Bro,
yes or no? Wait, one second, because I'm just going to debunk it quick.
Bro, I saw a little bit of the highlights, bro. That was
it. As clear as day, you don't know what you're talking about then. Today, if you watch the game, as I did in the game, it wasn't on Ten Hag today. We had all the possession. You don't want to see style, tactics, domination,
Manchester United.
That was it. I don't care, bruv. I've heard that for the last 10 years. So the way I look at it, I'm not terrible. There was nothing on. Ten Hag didn't do nothing wrong today. He played the so-called Bruno Fernandes and Rashford, Casemiro. We've got, we want to play the injury card like everybody else. I'll do that too if you want. But I'm not. Because today, the tempo was slow today. That was down to Bruno Fernandes. Very slow passing backwards, passing sideways. And you know that one where you try to play the first time pass and it's so predictable because the other player knows what you're going to do because you're clearly, it's one of those ones. Rashford, oh my God, this guy is so shit. I'm done now. This is me. See, when Gunnar Lee was getting on to me last year saying I wanted Rashford out, it reminds me why I wanted Rashford out. The guy's not a football player, man. You know why this team is so in the shit, yeah? Because the last 3 years, when you play transition ball, it suits players like Bruno Fernandes and Rashford. That's what it is. I saw more in this game 5 minutes of Van der Beek more than I saw Bruno Fernandes the whole game, and I saw more from Garnacho looking a bit more mature in his game again in 20 minutes than what I saw with Marcus Rashford. The officials got to go suck one as well, fam. Yeah, because how on earth we got given 3 minutes and 4 minutes when Rashford was down for more than 3 minutes itself and everything. I don't know, man. But I'm just saying that, yeah, Ten Hag needs to grow some balls. He needs to drop these two players because they are shit. When I'm telling you now, yeah, if anyone tells you that top Reds are not wanting Rashford out, trust me, the whole stadium and my whole stand wanted Rashford out. They want him gone. No, you can't. So they want him. They want him out. So when top Reds are starting to call Rashford out, you know something is going dearly wrong with Rashford. Dearly wrong. Amrabat, amazing, bro. Watching him live, you know when a player like that, amazing, bro. Like honestly, amazing player. Dictated the game where he needed to, and we played whatever. But see Casemiro, yeah, man, get him gone, man. Get him gone as well. It's done. He can't play. If you want to move on as a club, get him gone. Unless you want to use him as a certain type of player, like a guy that comes on John Obi Mikel type role, sharp shot. Cool. I've got space for that in my mind. Does Ten Hag? If Ten Hag does not get rid of these players in terms of dropping them, he's going to get sacked. He's going to get sacked.
Bro, you know, I said this, Mo. You know, I said this, I said this, yeah. Bro, do not bring Rashford.
What did I say?
He echoed you, Kas. On the stream, he said, it's working. Why bring these guys on?
Why bring them back? They don't try, they don't run, they don't do anything. They're literally, just because they're there and they're the most paid in the club, they think they deserve to be there, bro. These other kids, and I call them kids, are fighting for the badge. Meanwhile, these guys bring out lackluster performance. Rashford again does this same thing. Every time he signs a contract, he thinks, right, let me put my feet up, let me relax. I don't need to try no more. I got my new deal. What's there for me to try to do?
I tell him. When Mbappe goes, PSG will come in for Rashford. Take him.
Crazy.
8 million, 90. I don't give a shit. Get rid of him. I'm done with the guy.
Well,
get rid of him. Just get rid of him. He's not franchise. He's not it. The last part I'm gonna say is I didn't want to bring this part up because I don't get what it is with Liverpool fans. They get one VAR decision against them, and it's like the world comes crashing down, and it's the world is against them. I don't understand it. Not all Liverpool fans, but actually, 99% of them. So I don't get it. But you know what happened today? See the goal for Crystal Palace. 2 Crystal Palace players were in front of Banana's vision. Why didn't I get called off by the way?
Offside.
Yeah, it's offside. So why didn't I get called? It got called for us against Evans and so forth. And see the handball thing, like to Rashford, yeah. See the handball. He looked, it hit his hand. It's a goal scoring opportunity. It's going to go past Joel Ward. He should have been sent off if that's the case, or given a penalty. But it wasn't. I don't want to rely on decisions. But if you want to talk about consistency, then nobody wants. Where's the outrage for that? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to blame it because I thought our team didn't create enough today. So I'm not going to blame. Why am I going to rely on the decision to go win a game against Crystal Damn Palace? No,
yeah, I think that's a valid point, Kas, as well. The decision was wrong, but it's like
it changes the
game. To say it would be a cover up because I heard one or two. And by the way, the 1 or 2 City fans that have tried to do that about decisions that I don't even agree. I think they're actually all right decisions, but still. Don't mask the performance today because masking performances doesn't help anything. Like we have to accept it when our teams are shit.
I'm highlighting it, but I'm not making it as an excuse. Does that make sense? Like Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
Diaz could have scored that goal, but doesn't mean Gakpo's going to go score. So what? You got robbed. To be fair, they got robbed in it. That was a robbery.
To be fair, Manchester's in the mud today. North London's shining, isn't it? That's the way it is.
Manchester United today played with style. They actually created about a couple clear-cut chances. Like Mason Mount, that header, he should have scored that.
Sorry, a couple. You said that with pride, like we.
Yeah, because Crystal. No. To be honest with you, Crystal Palace were sitting behind the ball. Everybody. The problem is Kas saying is that it was too slow. It was like, why every time the ball goes to Marcus Rashford, he dwells on it, stands, looks at the guy at the face, and I'm like, bro, move the freaking ball, bro. Why you're looking at the guy like eye to eye? What is this?
Today, Mount was the best midfielder and Amrabat was and Varane were the best defenders, like technically. But like I'm actually impressed the way Mason Mount should have been deployed where he was against Crystal Palace last game, where basically what Bruno Fernandes was doing. He moved the ball quick. That's all. I don't want nothing else. Højlund should have scored as well, bro. I think it was in the first half. Was it the first? I think it was
he turned the guy and completely missed the shot.
No, not that one. Not that one. That's the second half. There's the first half. Him and Pelestri miscontrolled the ball or something like that. Should have scored. Anyways, it's not the point. The point is, we're shit.
Some individuals, huh? The difference between Man United, it's individuals.
Bro, Sofian Amrabat looks. Oh my god, bro, he actually looks sick. Especially coming from.
He kind of made the foul. He was rash in making the foul on Ayo that caused the goal. But...
Yeah, he did. So I was there. It was in front of me. That was his fault. Like he should have just let. He was only going to go backwards. There was nowhere else he could have went. You know what I mean? But we shouldn't see that free kick. I think it skimmed the Lowe's head or something like that, and then they scored from that. But it didn't get ruled out, did it? That referee was awful today. But I don't care, man. United, that was diabolically shit. I'm pretty sure tomorrow I'm gonna get roasted by Lee. Actually, Roms can't roast me. And Greasy. Yeah, man. It's just, bro. Just bro. Fuck these players off, man. I've had enough of these. Get a new manager. Deji says Ten Hag without actually watching the game. You get a new manager. You realise he can't play his football. Goes plays pragmatic ball. Rashford and Bruno look good. And then and you don't get rid of them.
Cycle continues.
And the cycle continues. And then we have another conversation with Deji saying, what's wrong with so-and-so manager? Get him out. That's the difference, mate. Mate.
I still think Ten Hag's the right guy for you. For the club. Do you know what it is? Deji, do you know what it is? Yeah, this is the truth. And someone said that to me last week at the City game. Said, no, we want him to stay forever. I said, no, because don't think if another manager comes in, it's going to be any better. It won't be any better. That's the thing that, like, I always say this. There was a period where some City fans were anti-Edison. I said, no problem. Tell me who we're getting that is going to come in and suit the system better. And the truth is, this isn't bro, the club from top to bottom stinks. Yeah. Right. It fucking stinks. Tell me a manager, honestly, let me just simply ask you a question. Tell me a manager that is going to go in there and make Man United a title contending team. Tell me the manager. Don't say Postecoglou either, by the way.
No. I think definitely put some respect on Postecoglou.
Well, to be fair, he might actually stand up to the board.
I think he could. I think he could. I think he could get them playing, but I think Nagelsmann is probably the biggest shout, and it's not the obvious. I think he could.
No. Nobody can operate with guys. The player. Today they had 79% ball position. They had every shot. They had only 2 shots on them, both from set pieces, right? And they still couldn't score. It's individuals. Now I'm convinced I was wrong because he now had the position. They moved the ball to the wings. They isolated players. I think it's individuals, as Kas says. Like today, it's not about.
I'm tired of Højlund getting missed. This guy will make a good run, yeah. He will drop a shoulder and run around, and he gets ignored. And he's right there, and he passes side. Bruno, fuck him off. I'm done with that rat. He's shit.
Do you reckon he's better? Do you reckon Cassie's better than Maddison?
There's a reason why he's never been my cup of tea, mate. There's a good reason why certain football. Oh man, I'm so right, but yeah, I try to be positive, innit? That's the thing. I try, but I'm not.
He dodged the bullet with that one. Look, you're right, Cass. I just think when I look at your team and I look at Man United of old, there's just no big game players. Apart from Amrabat now. Apart from Amrabat, there's no big game. And Onana, there's no big game player.
Like last year, yeah. I can't lie, brother. You struggled today against Liverpool with 9 men. I'm just going to say this. See, you're getting gassed now. No, you're getting gassed now. One sec. I really like the way Tottenham play ball and everything, yeah? But boy, it's going to come crashing down on you at one point.
Do you think your current team can do something against Liverpool, bro?
I can't lie, bro.
You think you can do something?
You know what it is? You know what the difference with Man United, yeah? We always struggle against smaller teams typically. But Old Trafford, when it comes to the so-called bigger teams, right? Like your club, as you say, Deji, yeah? It will fuck you up, man. I can't even lie. That's when the players want to turn on.
Bro, let me tell you now. If you play Liverpool today, you would have got hit for 8 or 9. Remember last year they slapped you for 7, yeah? Don't forget that.
Deji, I applaud you, but you struggled against 9 men, my brother. Bro. 9 men. 9 men. Big boy.
Struggled how though? We struggled to break them down. That was it. We didn't struggle. We struggled to break them down.
You struggled to break
Bro,
down.
remember you held 7. You held 7 with that Liverpool team.
Struggled to break down 8
Even
men.
though the midfield was 150 years old, you held 7. Remember that, yeah?
Break down 8 men on the pitch. Allow
Bro,
it.
I can tell you now. I'm gonna say this world exclusive. The amount of L's that you're gonna take this season is gonna reach double figures. The amount of L's you're gonna take this season will hit double figures.
What Chelsea vibes and that? Chelsea vibes are screaming.
Man's have already lost 4 games this season.
By the way,
already.
Deji, one sec, yeah.
You man are heading for double figures. You might even hit double figures by Christmas, bro.
Anyways, let me speak. Deji, not once this season I've heard you say Levy out, by the way. So good luck keeping that part up. And second of all, my club can be so dusty, but guess what? We're still gonna win a trophy before you win a trophy. So
you reckon?
So before you start saying,
with no Casemiro in that midfield, bro.
When are we gonna pretend when Man United are not so-called big guns? What have you done to make yourself bigger? You got 3 big wins. Don't get me wrong. I'll give it to you. Liverpool. No, you drew against Arsenal at their ground, but I respect it, to be fair. And then Man United, the shit Man United. We're not a big club, mate. What have you done to get gassed? Like, honestly, when I say it, we all talk about 7 games and shit. But what have you done, my brother?
I'm glad you asked that question. For me, I'm just gonna go back to the classic thing of the table don't lie.
What?
But were you saying that to Arsenal this time last season?
Bro, I told you already I was getting Leicester City vibes from Arsenal 7 games in. I'm not gonna lie, I did tell you that. I was.
So you get Leicester City vibes from Tottenham now?
Leicester City now,
bro. I'm not, bro. Even what? What do you mean with Arsenal?
Yeah. Do you think?
Last season was freakish. I don't think Arsenal finished in the top 2.
Deji, this time last year, I think he was about 9 points above us, and we still finished above you.
We were under Conte though, bro. We know this, and we knew that it wasn't gonna last. We both know that it wasn't gonna last. Look, bro, Kas, look, I know you're hurting. I'm not gonna lie. Can I just be real? Because banter aside, I'm hurting also. Manchester United is English heritage, and to see you guys the way that you are, I'm not happy with it, bro.
And
for me, I want us.
For me,
we got super chats to go through, I think, unfortunately, Kas. So sorry, we can't, bro.
Are we going to talk about the Arsenal game as well?
Yeah, we should talk on the Arsenal game as well. We need to. Yeah.
Let me do this.
Who gives a fuck? Who cares? You didn't win. We'll talk about tomorrow, man.
Arsenal did win. They won 4-0.
We won 4-0.
No one cares. No one cares.
Hey, Kas has lost.
No, they do care, bro. We do care.
We don't care. We ain't got the time.
Sad, you're right about Bruno and Rashford. Bobby is saying, did you see Zaha's goal today? Man United in trouble. They play Galatasaray at home on Tuesday.
Oh, I hope they play. Well, I don't see them playing flipping Crystal Palace ball where they have like 11 men behind. 10 men behind.
Really good comment.
Mohamed Omar is saying Rashford not world class, just a confidence player.
I agree. I agree.
Very, very good.
He's shit. He's allergic to play.
T-Man is saying, bro went to that aging arena called Old Trafford only to see his team get peppered. Epi is saying, when is Chelsea versus United? That would be a funny day. I think.
Oh wow! Yeah, that was
coming up.
That's like.
We'll have the tree up and everything. It'd be brilliant, Kas.
Gucci is saying, you guys are legit. I see it now. Strange day as a Liverpool fan. I'm actually thinking we can push City now, despite losing today. I think Klopp does too. I don't know. I think Arsenal after today.
According to Liverpool, I thought Spurs wasn't the barometer. Like it was. That's not the game.
Guys, there's still like about 1,400 people here. Can we get like to 700 likes? Come on.
Please, people, smash a like for Kas, because he travelled back. He travelled back. And we do need to speak on Arsenal. It's your debut on Never a Fan. We need to give you the shine. And furthermore, salute to Arsenal.
You got 5 minutes.
There you are. That's Kas's Man United side coming up.
Go on, Bo.
Listen, I'm going to start off with one thing which was controversial within my fan base that I came out and said, and obviously they looked at me sideways, where a lot of people think that Kai Havertz had a good game today or a decent game. I personally don't think so. I'll be honest, from him disappearing in the first half at times and missing that chance to the second half of him getting the penalty gifted to him and let's face it, they didn't gift
That
him
was
the penalty.
pathetic,
They
by
just
the way.
they
That was
gave
pathetic.
they gave him the penalty for no reason.
So he's not
Yeah.
Just to give
007
him a goal.
ultimately.
They
Yeah.
felt
Yes,
he was
that,
already
that was
007.
pathetic.
No,
Literally.
he was already 007. But
I heard he had a good
it's
game.
double
I heard
weight now.
I heard
Yeah.
he
He
had
didn't.
a
He
really good
didn't.
game.
In
But
my
how do you-
personal
how do you
opinion,
know- one sec. Sorry. How do you know, Mo?
I watched the game.
I thought you watched all of them then, because you
Here you
apparently
go.
watched Man United, Arsenal, and everyone else.
I
yeah?
did. I
Hold
did.
on, we got
yeah.
5 minutes.
He
We
has
don't
a
need
TV.
proof
We
of
got
it.
5 minutes.
he has
It's
a
fine.
TV.
I heard he
I'm
had
I
gonna
prove.
go.
I
I'm
proof.
gonna
I
go.
watched the game.
Bro, I'm gonna go by the Arsenal fan because he knows his
Yes,
team, innit?
yes. He watched it.
No, but yeah. Listen, I didn't think he had really the best game. I think after that penalty, it kind of improved to a certain level, but still not at the level that I expect him to be at. I think Zinchenko had the best game I've ever seen in an Arsenal shirt today. The best game that I've ever seen in an Arsenal shirt. Odegaard again has a great game. Saka. Actually, Gabriel Jesus looked good on that left side.
Of course,
Although
Odegaard
I
has a
would
good
think-
game. It's Bournemouth. Of course, he will have a great.
there you are.
Of
There you are.
course, he will have a great.
But-
He's a fantastic.
No, but listen. The thing is, yeah, I think that Gabriel Jesus had a good time on that left side. Although I like you, I do think if we're gonna play him anywhere other than the centrally, we need to play him on the right, just because I feel like he gets a bit more out of the game. But overall, I think we dominated the game. Obviously, respect to Bournemouth because they did have their chances and they could have scored at times in that game. There was, I think, a chance from Christie, which was a great save from Raya, and he managed to actually hold on to the ball as well. Raya had a good game, and my centre-back partnership. Listen, I've said this before, and I will say it again. If there's a centre-back partnership that reminds me of Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic, it is Saliba and Gabriel. Saliba just does the Rio Ferdinand roles, and then the Nemanja Vidic, that is Gabriel. He just comes in and roughs people up. I'm just so happy with my centre-back partnership, and I feel like overall it was a good game from us. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh yeah, that's it. We're gonna be back. We're gonna play great. We're gonna play great or whatever." But listen, it's good to have this performance, and hopefully we can get a win in the Champions League before we come against Man City, which will help us with the mentality of going into that game. Because unfortunately, bro. You know what I mean? There's a lot riding on that game, and like you said, like listen,
It's a big week for both of us, bro.
But Daps,
It is D-Day today. You have Man City.
It's crazy. Liverpool fans tell me that over and over again. Same thing with Man United fans. Same thing with like. You have to win a game against Man City. You have to win a game against Man City. And
That
showed
game
me
definitely got your confidence up.
Yeah, it should have.
Yeah,
Should have as well.
As an experienced fan, though.
In Pep's history, I don't think he's ever lost 3 games in a row.
No, he has. First season in Premier League.
Doesn't count. Anyways, move on.
Since then he hasn't.
But that goes. Listen, I think Pep in that game, he just complete. From time he called him the Korean guy, it was written in the stars for why he tried to just come in and score that goal to win it.
Is that what he called him?
He called him the Korean guy. The Korean guy is very good at attacking. It's crazy.
Now he does stuff like that sometimes where he spoke about grounds before and he's gone to London Stadium. He says weird stuff. But bro, I think this is. You're right. Look, Arsenal got a convincing win when the week was injuries and whatever. They've come in, they've got a convincing win. City have lost 2 games on the bounce, without Rodri, and it is relevant. And by the way, earlier on, I thought it might have come across that I'm going, "Oh, we've got injuries." I'm not, because I will never use injuries as an excuse, right? What I am saying is, when I talk about other clubs and I say their drop off. Today's reminded me we have a drop-off. Like, we can't act like we don't have a drop-off. We have a clear drop-off. And I hope today for us is a kick up the arse, ultimately. Like, because we need it. We need a reminder that this season is going to be harder than last season because Liverpool are back in the mixer and we got Tottenham, who I don't think will challenge, but they can take points off of people. So we have to remember this is not a walk in the park. And today from City, it wasn't good enough. And Arsenal, salute, you went in 4-0. You've probably... help that goal difference that could be big at the end of the season. And yeah, we move on to next week. And football today has shown us football is a fucking humbler. It's shown me football is a humbler.
What's my man's name called? What's your name again?
Saad, bro.
Saad. Thank you. Usually we talk about City and our numbers drop off. You talk about Arsenal, you bored everyone. Cheers, mate.
Oh, the drop-off's not as bad as when we talk about City winning. The drop-off, basically, you talk about a team winning, everyone fucks off. They're like, nah, I don't want to talk about a team winning. What is this, winning?
Anyway, let me do these super chats before we end. Steven is saying this Spurs fan needs to calm. You haven't won a major trophy in 20 years. You're not the.
Now let him keep getting hype. Do you know what? I was actually telling a few of my mates that were Arsenal fans today that were going, we need a Liverpool win, and I was going to, you don't, and they go, I was going, you need a Tottenham win. They'll go, no, we can't. We can't have a Tottenham win. I go, you can, because Tottenham will not be there at the end of the season. Yeah, Liverpool might be, so you need a Tottenham win. Yeah, let Tottenham win as many games as they want. Tottenham can win 38 games in a season and still lose a league. Like, that's the realness of it. Yeah.
AMP saying one consolation, Kai, Ariel, they also are good. Yeah, we're gonna start doing
fuck
that.
me. We're not going to do that, are we? Fuck
they will, bro. They're gonna find anything.
City have more possession.
He scored the penalty.
City have more possession and a better XG. It means fuck all. We were shit today.
At one point, I found myself doing that. I found myself saying, "Oh, he won his jewels. He done this," and I thought to
trust
myself,
your eyes, bro.
I was
Just trust your
bro,
eyes.
what am I doing? Why am I sitting here making excuses for this guy by saying he won jewels, man?
Trust your eyes, bro. Trust your eyes.
D. Cunningham is saying,
sorry, XG is bullshit, and this is what it comes out when it comes down to all the stats. Aston Villa scored 6 goals and had an XG lower than 2.0. It was like 1.78 or something.
That's mad. XG, and do you know what I really hate as well? By the way, the fact that now some of the big media outlets are now quoting XG. Like, XG has become a big thing now. It's not just a little thing, and it's like, bro, I'm sorry, I'm trusting my eyes over XG, because from a penalty, he gets a fucking 0.75 or whatever. Instantly, your XG is going to be better than someone else's. And trust your eyes, we were shit today. No excuses on City. Yeah. We were shit.
Yeah, D. Cunningham is saying Havertz was a 7.5 in my opinion. Kai Havertz and DR. Who's DR? Declan Rice have only played in the system for 3 months. We don't have a PK taker. Players decide on the field. It was to support Kai Havertz. Yeah, it's pathetic. It's exactly what it is. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Make sure to hit that like
is being taken by Win the Dog, by the way.
I'm disappointed in this song, man. I heard you were shameless. I
listen, Kas, I have to come in. The first time I come in, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna be, you know, not biased. I'm not gonna be shameless.
No, we don't need that shit. We want you to be you.
That's fine. Okay, no worries. Next time I come on,
you can come on next week if we. You can come on next Saturday, next Sunday after the game.
The problem is, Kas, in the beginning for an hour, guys, there was no shamelessness because fucking Liverpool robbed, so we couldn't be shameless. We couldn't laugh at them.
Man, Liverpool deserve it. They deserve it.
Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Tomorrow, rivals not better. Oh, the smoke is tomorrow. It wasn't today. The smoke is tomorrow afternoon.
I'm not here tomorrow.
It's at 12.
No, I'm not, bro. No, I'm not. I'm out with Kiana tomorrow, bro. Get Hamza.
I am there. Let's get Hamza. Get Hamza, yes. And we'll see you guys. Thank you, Saad. Guys, Saad's channel is in the description. Go check the Football Corner and also check Deji's channel is there. Tom Little as well. And make sure to hit that like button before you go. We'll see you guys tomorrow.